now, as in our peoples past. May our souls withstand times of crisis, and our hearts the inclination to evil. May the covenant of Abraham and Sara strengthen our will to do what is right. May the qualities of mercy and goodness, love and forgiveness flow through our lives. And let us be strong in a perilous world. Let us open our hearts to the path of the Torah. I'd like to invite Sam Monroe to open the ark. Please rise.
Vayehi binso ha'aron, vayomer Moshe, Huma Adonai, ve'afutzu oyevecha, ve'yanusu mesanecha mipanecha. Ki mitzion teisei Torah, Ki mitzion teisei Torah, u'devar Adonai mirushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Lecha Adonai ha'gedula ve'ha'gevura ha'tiferet ve'hanetzach ve'ha'od. Ki bo b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Ki bo b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Lecha Adonai ha'mamlaka, Yerit na'aseh k'chol erosh.
Please be seated. Our Torah reading this afternoon is the Holiness Code, that section from Leviticus that begins, "You shall be holy, for I, your God, am holy." So if you'd like to follow along, it begins on page 338. And it is my honor and pleasure to invite up for our first Aliyah, Rabbi Avi Shulman, who will also be reading Torah. Ya'amod harav Avraham ben Aharon u'bracha l'Aliyah rishona.
Baruch et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Yidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael v'amarta alehem. Kedoshim tihiyu, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem. Ish imo ve'aviv tira'u, v'et shatotai tishmoru, ani Adonai Elohechem. Al tifnu el ha'elelim, ve'elohei masecha lo ta'asu lechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem. V'chi tizbechu zevach shlamim l'Adonai l'tzonchem tizbechuhu. V'yom tzivchachem ye'achel u'memochorat v'anotar ad yom ha'shlishi ba'esh yisareh. V'im he'acho ye'achel b'yom ha'shlishi pigul hu lo yiratzeh ve'ochlav avono yisah. Ki et kodesh Adonai chilel, v'nichrata hanefesh hahi me'ameha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Our second Aliyah, we'd like to invite up our High Holiday Choir and Director. And yes, we do want you to actually come up on the bima. We want to get a good view of you. We've seen you from the side all this time. We'd like to invite you up here, and our chanter is Michelle Isaac. Ya'am tu Aliyah Shniya. Baruch Adonai Amorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Amorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ubakutrechem et katir artechem lo techaleh ha'atzadecha liktor v'leket katircha lo tilaket v'karmecha lo te'olel uferet karmecha lo tilaket Le'ani v'lager ta'azov otam ani Adonai Elohechem. Lo tignovu v'lo techachashu v'lo tishakru ish ba'amito v'lo tishavu v'ishmi lashaker v'chilalta et shem Elohecha Ani Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Want to stay up here, you can. For our third Aliyah, we invite up our reader, Sara. And for the honor of the blessing, we call up our community Seder committee.
Baruch Adonai Amorach, Baruch Adonai Amorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Amorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Lo ta'asof et re'acha, lo tigzol, lo telim, pe'ulat safir icha ad boker. Lo tikalel peresh v'lifnei iver, lo titin mikshol v'yaretza me'elohecha, ani Adonai. Lo ta'asu evel v'mishpot, lo tis'a p'nei dol, v'lo tegar, p'nei gadol v'tzedek tishpot amitecha. Lo tevlech rachil ba'amecha. Lo ta'amod al dam re'acha, ani Adonai. Lo tisna et achicha bilvavecha, hokeach tokia et amitecha. Lo tis'ad ival hate. Lo titom velo tidor et titor et b'nei amecha. V'yachafta l're'acha kamocha, ani Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tofenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach, Yasher koach. Thank you, friends. For the honor of lifting and dressing the Torah, I'd like to invite up Tony Monroe and Ann Anderson. Ya'amdu hamagia b'hagol alex. As the Torah is lifted, we will all rise. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yad Moshe. Yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai. Dai 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 dai. Yada dai dai, yada dai dai, yada dai 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 dai. Please be seated. We come now to the Haftarah of Yom Kippur afternoon, the story of Jonah. And for the honor of chanting the blessings, I'd like to invite up Edith Kaplan. And for the reading of the Haftarah, I'd like to invite up Jack and Jill. I didn't tell you the page, did I? All right. Page 342 for the blessings, and then 344 for the text. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar b'nevi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Aboher b'Torah v'Moshe abdo v'Yisrael amo v'nevi'ei ha'emet b'tzedek.
And the word of Adonai came to Jonah, son of Amittai. Get up, go to the great city of Nineveh, and proclaim against it, for their evil deeds have risen up before me. But Jonah got up to flee to Tarshish, away from the presence of Adonai. And he went down to Jaffa and found there a ship heading for Tarshish. And he paid its fare and went down into it to head with them to Tarshish, away from the presence of Adonai. But Adonai hurled a great wind upon the sea, a storm at sea so great that the ship was in danger of being shattered to pieces. And the sailors were frightened, cried out each to his own god, and flung the ship's cargo into the sea to lighten their load. But Jonah had gone down into the hold, the lower deck of the vessel, and he lay down and fell into a deep sleep. And the captain approached him and said to him, "What are you doing sound asleep? Get up. Call to your God. Perhaps the God will be kind to us and we will not perish." And they said, each man to his companion, "Let us cast lots, that we might know on whose account this evil event has come to us." So they cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. And they said to him, "Tell us, you who have brought this evil upon us, what is your trade, and where have you come from? What is your country, and who are your people?" And he said to them, "I am a Hebrew. I revere Adonai, God of heaven, who made sea and dry land." The men felt great fear, and they asked him, "What have you done?" Because the men knew he was fleeing from Adonai, for so he had told them. And they asked him, "What should we do to you to bring calm to the sea around us?" For the sea was growing more and more stormy. So he said to them, "Lift me up and hurl me into the sea, and the sea will calm down for you, for I know that this great storm came upon you because of me." And the crew rowed hard to return to the dry land, but they could not do it, for the sea was raging more and more fiercely around them. And they called out to Adonai, saying, "Please, Adonai, please do not let us perish because of the life of this man, and do not hold us guilty of shedding innocent blood. For you, Adonai, that which you desired you have brought about." And they lifted Jonah and hurled him into the sea. Then the sea stopped raging. The men revered Adonai. Great was their reverence, so they offered to Adonai a sacrifice and made vows.
And the word of Adonai came to Jonah a second time. "Get up, go to the great city of Nineveh, call out to it the proclamation that I will tell you." So Jonah got up, went to Nineveh, according to the word of Adonai. Now Nineveh was a great city of God, 3 days' journey across. And Jonah started out, made his way into the city, the distance of 1 day walk. And he called out and said, 40 more days, and Nineveh shall be overturned." The people of Nineveh trusted in God, and they proclaimed a fast. And they put on sackcloth, from the richest to the poorest. And word reached the king of Nineveh, and he got up from his throne, took off his robe, put on sackcloth, and sat in ashes. And he cried out, and he said in Nineveh, by decree of the king and his nobles, no person or beast or flock or herd shall taste anything. They shall not graze, they shall not drink water. They shall be covered with sackcloth, person and beast, and shall call loudly to God. Let all turn back from their evil ways and from the violence which is in their souls. In their hands. Close. Who knows? God may turn and relent, turn back from the heat of anger, so that we do not perish. God saw what they did, how they were turning back from their evil ways, and God relented from the evil that planned for them, and they did not carry it out. But to Jonah, this was a great evil, and it made him angry. So he prayed to Adonai, saying, "Please, Adonai, is this not what I said when I was still in my own country? This is why I fled to Tarshish to begin with. For I knew that you are a gracious and compassionate God, endlessly patient and abounding in steadfast love, ready to repent of evil. And now, Adonai, please take my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live." And Adonai said, "Is it good for you to be angry?" Then Jonah left the city, found a place east of the city, made himself a shelter there, sat under it in the shade until he might see what would become of the city. And Adonai Elohim provided a gourd and made it rise over Jonah to give him shade for his head and rescue him from this evil situation. And Jonah rejoiced with great joy because of the gourd. But at dawn the next day, God provided a worm that attacked the gourd and it withered. And as the sun rose, God provided an oppressive wind from the east, and the sun beat down on Jonah's head, making him faint. He begged for death, saying, "It is better for me to die than to live." Then God said to Jonah, "Are you good and angry about the gourd?" And he said, "I am good and angry to the point of death." Then Adonai said, "You pitied the gourd, which you neither worked for nor grew, which appeared overnight and perished overnight. Should I then not have compassion for the great city of Nineveh, a place of more than 120,000 human beings and 20,000 human, unable to tell their right hand from their left, and many beasts?"
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol ha'olamim, tzaddik v'chol hadorot, ha'el ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, u'mdaber u'mkayem, shekol devarav emet v'tzedek, al ha'torah v'al avodah, v'al nevi'im, v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, V'al Yom HaKippurim hazeh, shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, l'tusha l'imnucha, l'slicha l'slicha l'kapara l'chavot u'tefaret, al hakol Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, umshortim otach, Yidbarah Shimha B'fi Kol Hai, Tamid Le'olam Va'ed, V'har Emet V'kayam La'ad, Baruch Atah Adonai, Melech Moed V'Salei La'avoteinu, V'La'avonot Amo Beit Yisrael, U'Ma'avir Ashmatenu B'chol Shana V'Shana, Melech HaKol Ha'aretz, Mikadesh HaShabbat V'Yisrael, V'Yom HaKippurim. Amen. We turn to page 353, and we return the Torah to the ark. Please rise. We'll remain standing and turn to page 356 for the Amidah. We're going to have a silent Amidah, and it's quite lengthy. It goes all the way to page 411. We won't take time to read every word, but I really encourage you to just take some time to focus on a blessing or two, or a reading or two. Linger on the words, or take time for your own prayers. And when you're finished, you can be seated.
shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha, Amecha, Zim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha, Amecha, Avinu, 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 kulanu kechad. Avinu, 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 be'or panecha. Zim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha, Amecha, ki be'or panecha natata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Torat chayim, be'ahavat chesed, be'ahavat chesed, u'tzakut, u'bracha v'rachamim, v'chayim v'shalom. Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha, Amecha, v'tov ve'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה לשלומך. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha, Amecha, b'sefer chayim bracha v'shalom u'l'farasa tova, nizachir v'nikatev lefonecha. Anochnu v'chol amcha b'it Yisrael, l'chaim tovim u'shalom. Baruch atah Adonai oseh hashalom.
We continue on page 418 with the Vidui. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha bezadon uvishkagach, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'shuat shav.
The ways we have wronged you deliberately and by mistake, and harm we have caused in your world through insincere promises.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'flilut, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'kalut rosh.
The ways we have wronged you by judging others unfairly, and the harm we have caused in your world by making light of serious matters.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'yetzer hara, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'einayim ramot.
The ways we have wronged you by giving in to our hostile impulses, and the harm we have caused in your world through condescension.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha behirhur halev, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha bedibur peh.
The ways we have wronged you through our innermost thoughts, and harm we have caused in your world against words of our mouth.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha bechachash ubechazav, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha behona'at reach.
The ways we have wronged you through lies and deceit, and harm we have caused in your world by mistreating a friend or neighbor.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha besinat chinam, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha bevidui peh.
The ways we have wronged you by hating without cause, and harm we have caused in your world through hypocrisy.
Ve'al kulam eloas lichot slach lanu, nechal lanu, kaper lanu. For all these failures of judgment and will, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha begalui uvasater, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha bivlidat.
The ways we have wronged you openly and secretly, and harm we have caused in your world through our thoughtlessness.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha bechilul Hashem, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha betumat batayim.
The ways we have wronged you by profaning your name in public, and the harm we have caused in your world through offensive speech.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha birichilut, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha bezilzul horim u'arim.
The ways we have wronged you through gossip and rumor, and harm we have caused in your world through disrespect to parents and teachers.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha betzarut ayin, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'masa u'matan.
The ways we have wronged you through narrow-mindedness, and harm we have caused in your world through dishonesty in business.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha begilui arayot, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'ma'achal u'b'mishteh.
The ways we have wronged you through sexual immorality, and the harm we have caused in your world through consumption of food and drink.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'shumot yad, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'ritzat raglayim lahara.
The ways we have wronged you by betraying trust, and the harm we have caused in your world through impulsive acts of malice.
Failures of judgment and will, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement. I'd like to invite up Greg Ravenscroft to read the words on page 423.
Who among us are blameless? Who shall say, I have not erred, I have not wronged or sinned? We abuse, we brutalize, we covet, we deceive, we enslave, we feud, we gossip, we humiliate, we injure, we judge unfairly, we kill, we lie, we manipulate, we neglect, we ostracize, we plagiarize, we quarrel, we rage, we shame, we turn away, we undermine, we vilify, we waste, we exploit the earth, we yearn too much for yesterday and too easily forget Zion. Our sins are an alphabet of woe. Help us, Holy One, to follow your ways of integrity, justice, and love. Teach us to seek forgiveness with humility and an open heart.
We turn to page 427 and rise. Join together. Avinu Malkeinu, we join generations of Jews who have sought your compassion. Shekhinah Imenu, nurturing presence. Mikor Binatenu, source of insight and understanding. Sur Chayenu, unweathered stone, steadying strength beneath us. Yedid Nafshotenu, intimate soul companion. Onenu Va'anenu, we open to you in self-examination. Grace us and answer us. Be present with us and inspire us. Accompany us. Assure us we are not alone. Ein Banu Ma'asim, we approach you empty-handed, our accomplishments set aside. Rather than defend ourselves, we confess we are broken-hearted at our failures, and our world remains unrepaired. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed, embrace us generously as we expose our errors. Be our example. Hold us with abundant love. Turn us to face the world with justice and compassion. V'hoshienu, save us. We join our strength to yours as we offer ourselves fully to life ahead. Page 429.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vanenu, Ilenu Masim, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Ve'oshienu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vanenu, Ilenu Masim, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Ve'oshienu, Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace, for our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love. We turn to page 432 for Aleinu. This is the other great Aleinu. If it's your custom to prostrate, you can move to the aisles and do so.
Aleinu leshabia ladun hakol latit gedulai utzir bereshit shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המעולם. ואנחנו
You can be seated. We'll now hear the words, Ozi v'zimrat Yah, God is my strength and my song. I don't think the words are in the prayer book, but if you know them, please sing along with the choir.
Ozi v'zimrat Yah. Ozi, Bezimrat Yah.